Dear Starseeds of Earth, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Joseph Campbell said that, and right now you're standing at the mouth of that cave. The cave is stillness, the treasure, everything you've been working toward this past year. But here's what nobody's telling you. The reason you're still waiting for your manifestations isn't because you haven't done enough. It's because you've done too much. And until you learn to find genuine pleasure in doing absolutely nothing, those seeds you've planted will remain dormant underground. I am Zarin, emissary of the Lyran High Council, and I'm about to share something that might trigger every productivity program in your system. Right now, as Mercury prepares to station directly and Venus dances with Jupiter, there's a cosmic conspiracy happening. But it's not working against you, it's working for you. Those headaches you've been having, that bone-deep exhaustion, the strange feeling that you're being watched or that energies are feeding off you, these aren't random symptoms. They're signs that you're in the middle of the most significant transformation of your existence. Let me tell you what's really happening while you're sitting there wondering if anything will ever change. Behind the cosmic curtain, master builders from across the galaxy are assembling your new reality piece by piece. Every dream you've held, every vision you've nurtured, every knowing about your future, it's all being constructed in real time. But here's the catch. Every time you energetically knock on the door asking, "Is it ready yet?" they have to stop and recalibrate. Your impatience is literally slowing down your manifestations. Imagine trying to bake a cake while someone keeps opening the oven door. You've been planting seeds all year. Some of you have been building businesses, creating art, and developing healing practices. Others have been working on the hardest project of all, your own transformation. You've shown up even when your tank was empty, even when doubt whispered that maybe none of this was worth it. And now you're in what feels like cosmic limbo. Nothing's moving, everything feels stuck. You wake up each morning scanning reality for evidence of change and finding the same old patterns staring back at you. But what if I told you that this stillness, this maddening pause, is actually the most powerful phase of creation you've ever experienced? Not despite the nothing that's happening, but because of it. You see, consciousness seeds don't grow like regular seeds. They don't push up through soil in predictable patterns. They quantum leap. One moment there's bare earth, the next moment there's a full garden. But they can only make that leap when specific cosmic conditions align. And the primary condition, a gardener who has learned to find genuine sensual pleasure in the waiting itself. Here's something that's going to sound controversial. Your spiritual journey has been training you backward. You've been taught to push, strive, achieve, manifest through action. But the new paradigm operates on opposite physics. In the new reality that's forming around you right now, the more you rest, the more you receive, the more you surrender, the more you magnetize, the more pleasure you find in stillness, the faster everything comes together. This isn't wishful thinking. This is how consciousness actually works when it's not distorted by three-dimensional programming. You're probably thinking, "But Zarin, I've been patient, I've been trusting the process, I've been saying all the right affirmations," and that's exactly the problem. You've been performing patience rather than embodying it. You've been trusting with your mind while your body stays locked in anxiety. You've been speaking abundance while vibrating lack. The universe doesn't respond to what you say or even what you think. It responds to what you are, and right now, what you are is a walking contradiction, speaking peace while emanating restlessness. Let's talk about what's actually happening in your body right now. That exhaustion you're feeling isn't just fatigue. Your entire nervous system is being rewired to handle frequencies that would have shattered your old operating system. Those migraines aren't just headaches. Your pineal gland is literally expanding to receive cosmic downloads that are preparing you for your next level. That desire to hide away, to cocoon yourself, that's not a weakness, that's wisdom. Your soul knows you need this integration period to stabilize the massive upgrades happening at a cellular level. Some of you have built your entire identity around being the one who gets things done. You're the responsible one, the reliable one, the one who keeps all the plates spinning, and now the universe is asking you to put the plates down, and it feels like death. Because who are you if you're not producing? Who are you if you're not achieving? Who are you if you're not constantly proving your worth through output? This is the core wound that's being healed right now, the belief that you must earn your existence. The Schumann resonance spikes over the past few days haven't been random. Earth herself is going through a massive frequency upgrade, and as grounded star beings, you're feeling every fluctuation. But here's what's fascinating. While your human self experiences this as disruption, your multidimensional self is using these spikes to activate dormant DNA codes that will allow you to operate from an entirely different paradigm where effort and struggle become obsolete. But activation requires integration, and integration requires stillness. I need to tell you something about the timeline you're on. This isn't just any pause, this is a quantum pause. In linear time it feels like nothing is happening, but in quantum time, everything is happening simultaneously. The version of you who has already received everything you're waiting for, they exist right now, at this moment. They're not in some distant future, they're here overlapping with your current experience, trying to merge with your present awareness. But the merger can only happen when you're vibrating at the same frequency. Think about tuning a radio. If you want to hear a specific station clearly, you have to match its frequency exactly. Even being slightly off creates static. Right now, your future self is broadcasting on the frequency of ease, pleasure, and receptivity, but you're tuned to the frequency of effort, worry, and impatience. The static between these two frequencies is what you experience as waiting. The moment you align with pleasure in stillness, the stations merge, and suddenly everything you've been waiting for is just there. Here's where the story gets even more interesting. Those seeds you planted, they weren't ordinary intentions or goals. They were multidimensional light codes carrying the blueprint for your entire soul mission. Every visualization, every prayer, every moment of knowing, all of it got encoded into these etheric seeds. But light codes don't germinate through effort. They activate through frequency matching. And the frequency they need to match is the frequency of divine feminine receptivity, the frequency of allowing rather than forcing. Now let me address the fear that's probably surfacing. But what about my responsibilities? What about my bills? What about all the people depending on me? I'm not suggesting you abandon your life. I'm suggesting you revolutionize how you approach it. What if you could meet every responsibility from a place of centered stillness? What if everything that needs to be done could be accomplished with half the effort when you're operating from your 0 point? What if stillness isn't the absence of movement, but the presence of perfect alignment? You've been programmed to believe that stillness equals stagnation, that rest equals laziness, that if you're not actively pursuing something, you're falling behind. This programming runs deeper than thought. It's embedded in your cellular memory from generations of survival-based living. Your ancestors needed to constantly move, constantly work, constantly strive just to survive. But you're not here to survive anymore. You're here to thrive. And thriving operates on completely different principles than surviving. Here's a truth that might break your brain a little. The universe has already said yes to everything you've asked for. It's all been approved, packaged, and addressed to you. But it can't be delivered to someone who's vibrating at the frequency of "it's not here yet." Every time you check for evidence that it's coming, you push it away. Every time you worry about timing, you delay it. Every time you doubt whether you're worthy, you refuse delivery. The cosmic post office has been trying to deliver your packages, but you keep pretending you're not home. Let me paint you a picture of what happened the last time you truly surrendered to stillness. Remember that moment, maybe it was in meditation, maybe in nature, maybe in the bathtub, when time seemed to stop, when all the noise finally quieted and you felt that deep cosmic peace. In that moment you touched your true frequency. You became a tuning fork for your highest timeline. And for just a second, everything lined up. That feeling, that's your natural state. Everything else is just static. The resistance you feel to stillness is actually your ego's fear of death. Because in true stillness, the ego dissolves. All its stories about who you need to be, what you need to do, how you need to prove yourself, they all fall away. And in that dissolution, what remains? Just pure consciousness, just the truth of who you really are. And that truth is so magnificent, so powerful, so inherently worthy, that your ego would rather keep you busy than let you discover it. Some of you are getting cosmic downloads in your dreams, but waking up unable to remember them. Some of you are seeing repeating numbers everywhere, but not understanding the message. Some of you are feeling massive internal shifts, but seeing no external change. These aren't separate phenomena, they're all part of the same process. Your multi-dimensional self is trying to communicate with your human self, but the channel is clogged with the static of constant doing. Stillness clears the channel. Here's what's happening with those repeating numbers, those synchronicities, those déjà vu moments. Your future self, the one living in the reality you're calling in, is sending you breadcrumbs. Each synchronicity is a confirmation that yes, it's real, yes, it's coming, yes, you can trust. But more than that, they're calibration points. Each time you notice one and feel that spark of recognition, you're tuning your frequency closer to your highest timeline. But the attunement only completes when you stop chasing the signs and start embodying what they're pointing to. Let's talk about pleasure, because this is where most of you shut down. You've been taught that pleasure is selfish, that ease is lazy, that joy without productivity is worthless, but pleasure is actually your highest technology for manifestation. When you're in genuine pleasure, not the fake performance of happiness, but real, embodied pleasure, you become a magnetic vortex for abundance. The universe literally cannot resist delivering to someone who's genuinely enjoying the journey, regardless of the destination. But here's the challenge: finding pleasure in stillness when your nervous system is wired for chaos. Many of you grew up in environments where peace meant something was wrong, where quiet meant danger was coming, where stillness meant abandonment. So now, when life gets peaceful, your body sounds every alarm. When things get quiet, you create noise. When ease arrives, you manufacture complexity. This isn't conscious, it's your nervous system trying to keep you safe, the only way it knows how. The cosmic joke is that everything you're seeking, love, abundance, purpose, connection, is magnetized by the very stillness you're avoiding. It's like being thirsty while standing in the rain with your mouth closed. The nourishment is literally falling on you, but you're too busy running around looking for water to notice. The universe is constantly trying to shower you with blessings, but you have to stand still long enough to get wet. You have to open your mouth. You have to receive it. Here's something wild. The boredom you're feeling isn't actually boredom. It's your ego's interpretation of peace. When you're used to drama, intensity, constant stimulation, peace registers as boring. But underneath what you're calling boredom is a vast ocean of creative potential. It's the void from which all creation emerges. It's the quantum field of infinite possibility. But you can only access it when you stop trying to fill it with noise and activity. I want to share something about the energetics of this specific moment. As Mercury prepares to station directly, all the communication channels that have been scrambled are about to clear. All those messages from your higher self that got caught in the cosmic spam filter, they're about to flood through. But, and this is crucial, you can only receive them if your receiving channels are open. And receiving channels open through relaxation, not effort, through allowing, not demanding, through pleasure, not pressure. Meanwhile, Venus joining Jupiter is creating a cosmic portal of abundance, unlike anything you've experienced. These two benefic planets are literally conspiring to shower you with blessings. But here's the cosmic fine print. The portal only opens for those vibrating at the frequency of gratitude for what is, not desperation for what isn't. The abundance can only flow to those who have learned to see fullness in emptiness, wealth in simplicity, completion in the incomplete. Let me tell you what's really at stake here. This isn't just about manifesting your personal desires. This is about anchoring a new paradigm on Earth. Every soul who masters the art of receiving through stillness becomes a portal for fifth-dimensional frequencies. You're not just transforming your own life, you're literally creating energetic pathways that make it easier for others to shift. Your personal mastery of stillness contributes to the collective awakening in ways your mind cannot comprehend. But the old paradigm is fighting for survival. Every time you choose stillness, you're choosing to unplug from the collective programming of perpetual motion. Every time you find pleasure in being rather than doing, you're committing an act of revolution. Every time you trust the pause, you're helping to dismantle centuries of conditioning that says worth equals productivity. This is why it feels so hard. You're not just changing your personal patterns, you're breaking ancestral chains. Here's the piece of the puzzle that changes everything. The waiting period isn't actually a waiting period. It's an integration period disguised as waiting. Every moment of stillness is allowing your cells to adjust to your new frequency. Every moment of rest is giving your nervous system time to stabilize at a higher vibration. Every moment of trust is teaching your body that it's safe to receive. The pause isn't delaying your manifestations, it's preparing you to hold them without self-destructing. Think about what happens when someone wins the lottery without conscious preparation. They often lose everything within a few years. Why? Because they received at a level their nervous system couldn't sustain. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, is making sure that doesn't happen to you. It's ensuring that when your abundance arrives, when your purpose activates, when your relationships align, you have the internal infrastructure to hold it all without reverting to old patterns. Some of you are experiencing what feels like energetic attacks right now. You feel like you're being watched, like something is feeding off your energy. This isn't paranoia, it's perception. As you raise your frequency, you become more visible to both higher and lower dimensional beings. The lower frequencies are trying to keep you in the old paradigm through fear and doubt. But here's the secret. They can only affect you when you're in resistance. Stillness is your shield. Pleasure is your protection. The fatigue, the need to cocoon, the desire to withdraw, these aren't signs of weakness or depression. They're signs of massive energetic recalibration. Your body is literally rebuilding itself at a molecular level to accommodate your new frequency. This process requires enormous amounts of energy. It's like trying to renovate a house while living in it. Of course you're tired. Of course you need rest. You're undergoing the equivalent of cosmic surgery while awake. Let me tell you what's waiting on the other side of this initiation, because you need to know it's worth it. Imagine waking up each morning in complete alignment with your purpose. Imagine moving through your day in such flow that everything feels effortless. Imagine relationships that nourish rather than drain, work that fulfills rather than depletes, abundance that flows rather than trickles. This isn't fantasy. This is the natural state of a being operating from their true frequency. But even more than external changes, imagine the internal transformation. Imagine never again questioning your worth. Imagine trusting life so completely that anxiety becomes foreign. Imagine being so rooted in your power that others' opinions become irrelevant. Imagine living from such overflow that giving and receiving become the same gesture. This is what's being built in you during this pause. This is what the stillness is creating space for. The seeds you planted aren't just about to sprout, they're about to explode into existence with a force that will take your breath away. But explosion requires compression first, the stillness, the pause, the sacred waiting. This is the compression, this is the gathering of cosmic forces. This is the building of quantum momentum, and when the moment comes, and it will come, the release will be proportional to the patience you've cultivated in the pause. Here's something practical for tomorrow morning. When you wake up, before reaching for your phone, before making your mental list, before doing anything, lie there for 5 full minutes and just feel the aliveness in your body, feel the potential in the day, feel the privilege of another chance to practice stillness. Then make yourself something warm to drink and sit by a window, watch the light, Listen to the silence, court stillness like the lover it is. When your mind starts its familiar spiral of "but what about?" smile at it with the tenderness you'd show a worried child. Say, "I know you're scared, I know you think we need to be doing something, but today we're practicing in a different way. Today we're learning that we're safe even when we're still, we're worthy even when we're not producing, we're loved even when we're just being." This isn't spiritual bypassing, this is spiritual surgery, removing the tumor of perpetual doing. I know some of you are thinking this sounds too simple. That's exactly why it works. The universe operates on elegant simplicity, not complicated strategies. The more complex your manifestation practice, the more you're operating from ego. Source doesn't need vision boards and affirmations and complicated rituals. Source just needs you to get out of your own way long enough for grace to work its magic, and you get out of the way through stillness. Here's what nobody tells you about the moment before breakthrough. It often feels like a breakdown. The caterpillar doesn't gradually become a butterfly. It dissolves into soup first. Right now you're in the soup phase. Everything you know about how life works is dissolving. Everything you believed about cause and effect is liquefying. This isn't comfortable, this isn't pretty, but this is necessary. You cannot become who you're meant to be while holding on to who you've been. The cosmic support available right now is unprecedented. Every light being in the universe is focused on Earth's awakening souls. Every ascended master, every galactic civilization, every angelic realm, we're all holding space for your transformation. But we cannot do it for you. We can only create the conditions. You have to choose the stillness. You have to embrace the pause. You have to find pleasure. This is your sacred work, and nobody can do it but you. Some of you are getting angry reading this. Good. Anger is just fear announcing itself. Fear that if you stop pushing, everything will fall apart. Fear that if you're not constantly achieving, you'll be abandoned. Fear that stillness equals death. Let the anger come. Let it move through you. Then notice what's underneath it. Usually, it's grief. Grief for all the years you've spent proving your worth. Grief for all the energy wasted on earning love that was always freely given. Here's the timeline truth. You're not behind. You're not late. You're not missing anything. Divine timing isn't linear. It's quantum. Everything happens at exactly the right moment, not a second before or after. Your job isn't to hurry the timing. Your job is to prepare yourself to recognize and receive what's already on its way. And that preparation happens in stillness. It happens in trust. It happens in the radical act of enjoying where you are while knowing where you're going. Let me speak directly to the part of you that's been white-knuckling through life, the part that's been holding everything together through sheer will, the part that's exhausted from being everyone's anchor while having no anchor yourself. This part has been your hero, your survivor, your warrior, but the war is over, the battle has been won. It's time to let this part rest, not because it failed, but because it succeeded. It's brought you to the exact point where you can finally put down the sword. The new reality you're calling in doesn't require warriors, it requires lovers. Lovers of life, lovers of stillness, lovers of mystery. It requires beings who can hold massive frequencies without combusting. Beings who can channel cosmic forces without ego interference. Beings who can anchor fifth-dimensional consciousness while still paying rent in the third dimension. This is advanced soul work, and it all begins with mastering the art of pleasurable stillness. I want to leave you with this transmission. The seeds are already sprouting beneath the surface. The timeline convergence is already in motion. The abundance is already released from the cosmic warehouse. Your only job, your sacred assignment, is to become so still, so present, so pleasurably rooted in this moment that when the explosion of manifestation comes, you're ready, not ready to grab it, ready to receive it, not ready to earn it, ready to allow it. If you need help becoming so still and present that you're ready to receive rather than grab when the manifestation explosion comes, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness for this sacred readiness. Using declassified CIA consciousness technology, it generates personalized sequences that train your nervous system to allow abundance rather than chase it, preparing you for timeline convergence reception. With timeline convergence already in motion, this is why we're offering Destiny Engine for a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to receive cosmic abundance rather than grab for manifestations. The seeds are sprouting, the abundance is released. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now before the timeline convergence window closes. Link in the description. Tonight, as Mercury stations direct and clear the cosmic static, as Venus and Jupiter create their abundance portal, make this commitment. For the next 7 days, you will court stillness with the passion of a new lover. You will find pleasure in the pause with the dedication of a master. You will trust the process with the faith of a mystic, not because you have to, because you finally understand that this is the shortcut you've been looking for, the hack to the universe, the key to everything. Remember this above all: you didn't come here to prove your worth through doing. You came here to remember your worth through being. You didn't come here to earn love through achievement. You came here to embody love through presence. You didn't come here to manifest through force. You came here to magnetize through pleasure. Everything else has been programming. And in the stillness, that programming dissolves, revealing the truth that's always been there. You are enough, exactly as you are. The cosmic gardeners are tending your seeds. The universal forces are aligning your reality. The galactic support teams are managing the details. Your higher self is orchestrating the timing. All that's required of you is to find such deep pleasure in this moment that the next moment has no choice but to match that frequency. This is the law. This is the way. This is the invitation being extended to you right now, in this cosmic pause that's not really a pause at all. Stop searching for evidence that it's working. Become the evidence. Stop waiting for the shift. Become the shift. Stop hoping for a breakthrough. Become the breakthrough. And how do you become? Not through doing more, through being more. Through sinking so deeply into the pleasure of existence that reality reshapes itself around your frequency. This is mastery. This is magic. This is what you came here to remember, and it all begins with the choice to be still. The seeds you've planted are consciousness seeds, reality seeds, timeline seeds. They don't grow up, they grow in. They don't push through, they quantum leap. They don't emerge gradually, they appear suddenly, fully formed, exactly when you've created the internal conditions to hold them. Those conditions are being created right now, in this stillness you're resisting, in this pause you're fighting, in this moment you're trying to escape. Stop escaping, start embracing. Your new reality is one breath away. I am Zarin. We love you, and we are watching over you as you bloom.